best.
As I'm staring into the mouth of the seal where her canines are here and here, and I'm staring in her mouth as she's doing this, and I just start shooting. And she does these displays, and then she relaxes and she disappears, and I'm thinking the encounter must be over. I don't know what's going on next. She comes back with another penguin, and she holds it by its feet, and the penguin's trying to get away from her, and this fresh caught penguin, and she lines it up with me, and she lets it go, and the penguin swims over my shoulder, and she goes off and grabs it, and she comes back and does it again and again and again. I'm like, is she trying to offer me a penguin now? Like, this is just too much. Like, my emotions going through my body at this time are just like, are you kidding me? And I keep photographing. She does it again and again. And then she realizes that, I think she realizes at this point that I can't catch a live swimming penguin. So she grabs another penguin and she gets it tired. She gets it worn out. And she tries to offer me that penguin. And then ultimately she started to bring me dead penguins. At one point I had 5 dead penguins floating around my head with her just sitting there. And this, I'm telling you this story as if it all happened in a minute. It happened over 4 days. I mean, every time I got in the water, she was there to greet me with a penguin, and was determined to get me to eat a penguin. At once she rammed my dome underwater incredibly hard. I think that there was so much blood in the water and the penguins, and she's eating it, and I'm this far from, all of a sudden my dome is touching her lips in the water, and she rams the camera, thinking maybe it was another leopard seal. Another time she flung a penguin through the air, and I'm in the water like from me to you like this, and near the leopard seal she flings the penguin, which weighs 10 pounds, drills me into the side of the head, and I felt myself almost getting knocked out. It was like bang, and I feel myself sort of closing down, and I'm like, and you just see her change her body language. She starts to watch me like this as you become weak, and I'm like, you hang on to this, buddy. And I'm like, brought myself, like, pretended I was good until I was good, kept shooting, just all these inner things. And then she'd come up to me and she'd blow bubbles in my face, like frustrated that I couldn't accept the penguin. And all this craziness happened. And then on the 4th day, I'm thinking she's really sick of me now because I've shown my complete ineptness. And then she looks at me and she rolls over on her back and she does this guttural, deep jackhammer sound. It vibrates through my whole body. I didn't even know they vocalized like this. And I'm like, okay, now I'm gonna get it. Now she's upset. And she looked at me, and as she did that, she rushed towards me, and I'm like, I'm about to get hit. And she rushed right by me, and as she did that, I looked, and there was another big leopard seal had snuck up behind me, and that whole threat display was for this other big leopard seal.
It's a heartbreaking sight, walruses plummeting to their deaths from a high cliff. Hundreds of dead or severely injured walruses at the bottom of the cliff have suffered similar fates. Producers of the acclaimed new Netflix documentary series Our Planet blame climate change for these devastating scenes. Oh my God! They believe that dwindling sea ice is forcing walruses onto smaller and smaller pieces of land. I spoke to wildlife biologist Jeff Corwin.
These are creatures that require ice to survive. But now, 70% of this ice is gone. So they no longer have that ice to haul out on, to rest, to sleep, to avoid predators.
Corwin has worked with orphaned walruses. He says they are incredibly smart.
I've actually seen babies use their flippers to unscrew bolts in order to come out of their enclosures to be hugged and bottle fed.
There are critics who say the producers are sensationalizing the tragedy using slow motion video and dramatic music. Viewers upset by the images are flooding social media. One wrote, "I can't stop crying after watching this."
Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. It's Lavender here, and today I am here with another Animal Files series, the Animal Files Science series. Today I'm here with seals / pinnipeds, facts and information about them. I'm going to be doing separate individual seals too, honestly, but not all of them, obviously. So yeah, let's get started into this video. So here we go. So pinnipeds, are commonly known as seals, are a widely distributed and diverse cascade of carnivores, fin-footed, semi-aquatic marine mammals. They comprise the extant families of Obersteindae, whose only living member is the walrus, Arthursidae, the eared seals, sea lions, and fur seals, and the fosside, the earless seals or true seals. There are 33 exact species of pinnipeds, and more than 50 extinct species of pinnipeds have been discovered and described from fossils. While seals were historically thought to have been descended from two ancestral lines, molar evidence supports them as a monophyletic lineage descended from one ancestral line. Pinnipeds belong to the order of Carnivora, and their closest living relatives are bears and dogs. Having diverged about 15 million years ago from that lineage, seals range in size from 1 meter and up to 99 pounds to 5 meters and 3,200 kilograms, aka 7,100 pounds. Southern elephant male seals are the biggest out of all the seals, which is also the largest member of the order of Carnivora. Several species exhibit sexual dwarfism within. The males are usually way larger than females by a lot, not just a little, but by a lot. The males are usually typically bigger. They have streamlined bodies and forelimbs that are modified into flippers. Though not as fast in the water as dolphins, seals are more flexible and more agile than dolphins. They, such as walruses, have hind limbs that can be pulled over the body and used as legs on land. By comparison, terrestrial locomotives by some of the others are more cumbersome on land. Some have visible external ears, while others, like walruses, lack these. Pinnipeds have well-developed senses. Their eyesight and hearing are adapted for both air and water, and they have an advanced tactile system in their whiskers. Some species are well adapted for diving to great depths. They have a layer of fat or blubber on them under the skin to keep them warm in cold water. Although pinnipeds are widespread, most species prefer colder waters of the northern and southern hemispheres. Living pinnipeds mainly inhabit polar and subpolar regions, particularly the northern Atlantic, the northern Pacific, and the Southern Ocean. As a whole, pinnipeds can be found in a variety of aquatic habitats such as coastal water, open ocean, brackish water, and even freshwater lakes and rivers. Most species inhabit coastal areas, although some travel offshore and feed in deep waters off oceanic islands. Almost all pinnipeds have fur coats. Pinnipeds are typically counter-shaded and darker colored dorsally and lighter colored ventrally, which serves to eliminate shadows by light shining over the ocean water. The pure white fur of harp seal pups conceals them from the Arctic environment and makes them blend in with their environment. Some species such as ribbon seals, ringed seals, and leopard seals have patterns of contrasting light and dark coloration like spots. All fully furred species molt. Some molt once a year, while others gradually molt all year round. Seals have a layer of simultaneously fat known as blubber that is particularly thick in such as things as elephant seals and walruses. Blubber serves to keep both the animals warm and to provide energy and nourishment when they are fasting and not eating for months at a time. It can constitute as much as 50% of a pinniped's body weight. Pups are born with only a thin layer of blubber, but some species compensate for this with thick lungus. Pinnipeds, they spend most of their lives in water, but come ashore to mate, give birth, molt, or escape from predators such as sharks or killer whales. Sharks usually attack them by ambushing them from down below. The prey usually escapes, and some seals are often seen with shark-inflicted wounds, like bite marks on their bodies and in their blubber. The polar bear is well adapted for hunting Arctic seals and walruses, particularly pups. Bears are known to sit and wait tactics at those breathing holes underwater and active stalking and pursuit of prey on ice or on water. These can be seen in a bunch of documentaries like the BBC channel or Animal Planet or the National Geographic. Other terrestrial predators include cougars, brown hyenas, and various species of canids, which mostly target the young pinnipeds, like the seal pups. They feed largely on fish and marine invertebrates such as squid, fish, anything really in the water, mollusk. A few, such as the leopard seal, feed on large vertebrates such as penguins or other seals. Walruses are specialized for feeding on bottom-dwelling mollusks. The leopard seal, a prolific predator of penguins, is known to violently swing its prey back and forth until it's dead. These can be captured in documentaries as well. Pinnipeds have a simple stomach that is similar in structure to terrestrial carnivores such as bears and dogs. The large intestine is short and only slightly wider than the small intestine. Small intestine lengths range from 8 times California sea lion to 25 times the elephant seal in body length. The length of the intestine may be an adaptation to frequent deep diving, as the increased volume of the digestive tract serves as an extended storage system and compartment for partially digested food during submersion. Pinnipeds do not have an appendix. As in most marine mammals, the kidneys are divided into small lobes and can effectively absorb water and filter out excess salt water. The eyes of pinnipeds are relatively large for their size and are positioned near the front of their head. One exception is the walrus. Those smaller eyes are located on the side of its head, unlike the other seals. This is because it feeds on immobile bottom-dwelling mollusks at the bottom of the seabed and hence does not need acute vision. On land, pinnipeds are nearsighted in dim light. This is reduced in bright light as the retracted pupil reduces the lens and the cornea's ability to blend light. The pinniped ear is adapted for hearing underwater, where it can hear sound frequencies up to 70,000 hertz. In air, hearing is somewhat reduced in pinnipeds compared to many terrestrial mammals. One study of the 3 species, the harbor seal, California sea lion, and northern elephant seal, found the sea lion was better adapted for airborne hearing. The harbor seal was equally capable of hearing in air and in water, and the elephant seal is way better adapted for underwater hearing compared to the other seals. Before diving, pinnipeds typically exhale to empty their lungs for half the air, and then close their nostrils and throat cartilages to protect the trachea. Their unique lungs have airways that are highly reinforced with carcinogen rings and smooth muscles to alveoli that completely deflate during deeper dives. The heart of a seal is moderately flattened to allow the lungs to deflate. The trachea is flexible enough to collapse under pressure. Pinnipeds conserve heat with their large and compact body size, insulating blubber and fur, and high metabolism. In addition to the blood vessels in their flippers are adapted for countercurrent exchange. Veins containing cool blood from body extremities, surrounded arteries which contain warm blood intercede from the core of the body. Heat from the arterial blood is transferred to the blood vessels, which then recirculates blood back to the core. The same adaptations that conserve heat in the body while in water tend to inhibit heat loss when out of the water. To counteract everything and to counteract overheating, many species cool off by flipping sand onto their backs, adding a layer of cool, damp sand that enhances heat loss. The northern fur seal pants to help stay cool, while mollusk seals often dig holes in the sand to expose cool layers to rest in. Pinnipeds spend many months at a time at sea, so they must sleep in the water. Scientists have recorded them sleeping for minutes at a time while slowly drifting downward in a belly-up orientation. Like other marine mammals, seals sleep in water with half their brain awake so that they can detect and escape from predators or other things. When they are asleep on land, both sides of the brain go to sleep into sleep mode. Male pinnipeds typically mate with more than one female, although the degree varies within the species of which seal you're talking about. The males of land-breeding species tend to mate with a greater number of females than those of ice-breeding species. Male pinniped strategies for reproductive success vary between defending females, defending territories that attract females, and performing ritual displays or mating. Pups are typically born in the spring and summer months, and females bear almost all the responsibility for raising them. Mothers of some species fast and nurse their young for a relatively short period of time, while others take time foraging trips at sea between nursing bouts. Walruses are known to nurse their young while at sea. Seals produce a number of vocalizations, notably the barks of California sea lions, the gong-like calls of walruses, and the complex songs of Weldrick seals. Several species are known to migrate vast distances, particularly in response to extreme environmental changes such as El Niño or changes in the ice cover. Elephant seals stay at sea 8 through 10 months a year and migrate between breeding and molting sites. The northern elephant seal has one of the longest recorded migration distances for a mammal at 18,000 through 21,000 kilometers. Miles. The meat, blubber, and fur coats of pinnipeds have traditionally also been used by indigenous people to survive in the Arctic. Seals have been depicted in various cultures worldwide. They are commonly kept in captivity, whether that is in an aquarium or at a zoo. Once relentlessly hunted by commercial industries for their products, seals and walruses are now protected by international law. The Japanese sea lion and the Caribbean monk seal have become extinct in the past century, while the Mediterranean monk seal and the Hawaiian monk seal are ranked endangered by the International Union for Conservation of Nature. Besides hunting, pinnipeds also face threats from accidental trapping, marine pollution, and conflicts with local people and wildlife. Here are some other facts about some of the pinnipeds. I was talking about just some, not all of them. I'm gonna make a separate video to explain individual ones, but not all of them. So yeah. So here's some facts about some of the pinnipeds. When a mother elephant seal gives birth, the milk she secretes is 12% fat. 2 weeks later, the net number increases to over 50% fat, giving the liquid a pudding-like, cottage cheese-like consistency. By comparison, cow milk is only 3.5% fat. Within a single month, northern elephant seal pups quadruple their birth weight. Once the lactation process starts, the pups grow fast. In just 30 days, an average pup will go from weighing 75 pounds to 300 pounds. Leopard seals can swim at speeds reaching 37 kilometers per hour. Leopard seals live about 25 years on average. A story of a National Geographic photographer, Paul Nicklin, went viral when, instead of attacking him, a female elephant seal repeatedly brought him live penguins in the effort to try to teach them how to hunt. Attacking people is rare, but it has happened in one incident of leopard seals. There are two types of elephant seal. One is the northern and southern elephant seal. The southern elephant seal tends to get bigger than the northern counterparts. Slaughtered in mass for their oil production blubber, the northern elephant seal was at one time close to extinction. By 1892, many assumed that this poor species had quietly disappeared forever and went extinct. However, that is not the case, as today they are still around. Next to a 4.5-ton bull, female southern elephant seals look really small in comparison, reaching around 1,000 pounds. In general, males are 7 to 8 times heavier than the females and can be twice as long. On dry land, elephant seals often go without drinking for extended periods of time to avoid dehydration. Their kidneys produce concentrated urine that contains more waste and less actual water loss in every drop. So if you guys like this video, don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe. Bye guys, see you next video.